The news is brought to you by BTC. For the fastest speed internet, get BTC Fiber. Sign up for a fiber bundle and get a $500 Visa gift card. Visit a retail store to sign up today.
First at 11, Prime Minister Philip Davis addresses the turmoil engulfing Haiti and a new U.S. report that reveals the Bahamas has the highest percentage of illegal guns linked to the United States. And one woman the victim of identity theft who had an ordeal to confront for herself and her family. We'll tell you more. Also, a story of survival with an unfortunate death after 3 men stranded on a quay off Andros were rescued. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones, and this is the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Thank you so much for tuning in. Regional leaders meeting in Guyana this week. Their focus, the turmoil engulfing Haiti. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis among the leaders at this emergency summit. Ahead of making the trip, he provided an update to reporters on both Haiti and that U.S. report about guns entering this country illegally. Corval Pyfram leads us off tonight at 11.
Prime Minister Davis heads to Guyana to meet with his regional partners to discuss Haiti as that island nation slips further into bedlam.
Do you regional leaders believe that the Kenyan-led mission in Haiti is failing?
It is not failing. The challenge is being able to resource them properly.
The situation in Haiti appears to be plummeting by the day. Reports today are that state security, aided by armed residents, killed as many as 28 gang members in the latest clashes in its capital, Port-au-Prince. There are also reports that the upscale suburb of Pétionville, which overlooks the capital, is being targeted by gangs as they continue their efforts to topple the Haitian government. This latest violence comes just a week after the Haitian government collapsed amid the ousting of its interim prime minister. A 400-strong UN-backed international policing mission, staffed mostly by officers from Kenya, arrived in late June. They've made little progress in their fight to roll back the influence of the criminal groups. And now Prime Minister Davis worries that we could begin to see an influx of Haitian migrants attempting to enter the Bahamas.
When we are dealing with 200 or 300 persons coming in, we could deal with that or stop that. And as you know, there have been very little landing over the last year because of our shoring up our borders and our partnership with other countries like Cuba, United States, Turks and Caicos. We've been able to stem the flow. But if and when this issue in Haiti continues to deteriorate the way it is, we cannot deal with millions of persons trying to escape Haiti.
And as Mr. Davis travels south, he's also focused on that new explosive report from the U.S. about the high concentration of illegal firearms entering this country from the United States. The report shows 85% of illegal guns out of the U.S. end up here, giving this country the highest percentage of firearms traced to the U.S. in the region.
I've always, on the world stage, been speaking about the fact that the United States' right to bear arms cannot translate or mean the right to traffic in arms. It is alarming. As you know, most of our violent crimes are perpetrated by guns, which we don't manufacture, or is being illegally brought into the country. And we are attempting to find ways, continue ways to stem that tide.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfram.
Corrections officer recently reminded of their mission to correct the ills of society, which according to their commissioner, Don Clear, begins with addressing the why behind an inmate's incarceration and what pushed that individual to that point.
One of the major factors that is common among all those persons that comes into our care is drugs. Drugs is the fueling cost. Many persons may think it is unemployment, but it's not unemployment, you know. It is the cost of drugs. And the next thing we find out too is greed. So, we put pen to paper, and we have asked the government of the Bahamas to increase our professional staff complement. So now we need drug counselors. We now need a psychotherapist. We now need a much more professional staff. Again, what are we doing? We have a new model Now we want to address the root cause of why these persons are committing these offenses.
Clear going further to debunk critics who see such an approach as the Department of Corrections becoming soft, but rather that it's a matter of doing away with a 65-year-old model that produced no results. In the meantime, 25 corrections officers and 1 Defense Force commander recently returned from Italy, where they completed a free training.
This year alone, we have trained over 105 persons in the true meaning of corrections. And based on our strategic plan 2024, our goal was to do 100. So we have exceeded our goal by 5 officers. And come January, we are about to send a whole group to Canada for training. Folks, don't let anybody fool you. The Bahamians knows nothing about corrections. We have to seek international assistance. And that's what we're going to do. That's what we are doing. And nothing is wrong with it.
Do you know what it's like to have your identity stolen? Well, a mother of 8 claims she does, arguing that the issue has adversely affected her life in more ways than one. Compounding the problem is that it has made Jane and John Does of her children. Daniel Dean explains in this next story.
In March 2019, now 35-year-old Sharonda Roberts came to the capital from Cat Island to give birth to her daughter after moving there 7 years ago. According to Roberts, during an attempt to register the newborn 2 weeks later, she and the father were shocked to find out from a Registrar General representative that her marital status was listed as married.
So she showed me the marriage license and asked me if I knew the gentleman on it. I said, no, I didn't. Even the signature on the marriage license was not mine. So I explained to her that I was not married, never went before no JP and none of that stuff. She was like, isn't this your mommy and your daddy name? I was like, yes, but I'm not married and that's not even the correct spelling of my parents' name.
According to Sharonda, based on an official copy of the marriage certificate, the groom is Haitian national, Getchin de Green.
I was told that they found the JP and the witness. So I was like, okay, isn't that more than enough to go before the court? I have 8 kids in total, only the last 3 are undocumented. But me looking at my children daily and looking at the last 3, they don't have nothing. And me being a mother, I have a passport and the children that I give birth to don't have nothing. That's frustrating.
Roberts says she's been told that in order to get birth certificates, she has to get an affidavit confirming she's married.
And I said, I'm not going to do that. Because at the end of the day, I already stated to the fraud department, I'm not married, which is the truth. So why would I go and get an affidavit stating that I am married? You understand? That don't make no sense.
She's actively sought justice for these past 5 years, she says. We spoke with attorney Yvette Ramming, who said she's seen 3 similar cases over the past year alone. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Tourism officials hoping to tap into the multi-billion-dollar religious tourism market. 11 prominent religious figures from various denominations now in the capital exploring the Bahamas' culture, food, heritage, and people. The visit is an ongoing effort to cement the country as a leading tourist hub. It has been organized by the Ministry of Tourism, Investments, and Aviation and founding member of Mount Tabor Church Fellowship, Bishop Neil Ellis. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis and Tourism Director General Lettia Duncombe welcomed the delegates.
I came here to speak to the several leading pastoral gentlemen who are present and their interest in being in the Bahamas and promoting to their congregation to come and spend time in the Bahamas, to bring retreats and to have conferences here. I think it is a wonderful idea, and I take my hat off and give Bishop Ellis my full support and congratulations for what he's doing for us.
They're going to see conference spaces that we have to offer, see a little bit of the destination, also the new museum that Bishop has recently opened, also downtown with our Sunsea and Souvenir Initiative by our Tourism Development Corporation. We're sharing the entire island with them. And these individuals that are here with us represent thousands and thousands when you look at their congregation and also their reach. From the social media perspective, it's then in the millions,
Bishop Ellis hopes this visit is the first of many initiatives to promote the Bahamas. Among those in attendance was popular gospel music artist and pastor of the Love Fellowship Tabernacle in Brooklyn, New York, Pastor Hezekiah Walker, who's glad to be in the Bahamas.
Well, we don't just have 11 religious leaders. We have 11 prominent religious leaders, particularly of the African American and Latino markets. This is a Christian nation. This is a Christian nation. We're founded on Christian principles, and it's only wise for the Ministry of Tourism to focus on a certain segment of tourists coming into our country that can not only spend money, but can help to anchor us in our values.
Well, I am so excited to be here. This is like my second home, especially to be here with my pastor, Bishop Ellis, and I am just looking for this week to be just extraordinary, just like every time I come.
Still to come, Disney's Treasure in town. You're watching the Bahamas tonight at 11. More news in a moment.
In the chaos of our daily lives, it's easy to be caught up in the rush. But when you're behind the wheel, remember, rushing can lead to disaster. Don't rush. Take your time. Remember, your life and others depends on it. Slow down. Stay alert and arrive alive. Because in the race of life, it's not about how fast you get there, but how safely.
This message is brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Just what is it that you want to do? And we want to have a good time. We want to be free to do what we want to do.
Ready to score big on unbeatable savings? Tune into What's Trending's Deals and Steals with Ace Hardware every Wednesday at 6 p.m. starting in November. Save on items from power tools to paint, lawn care to Christmas decor. They've got the essentials you need to tackle any project at prices that can't be beat. Dive into their special offers up to 50% off select items. Need a new grill for those backyard barbecues? How about a fresh coat of paint to revamp your space? They've got you covered. That's every Wednesday at 6 p.m. starting in November. Don't miss out on Deals and Steals with Ace Hardware.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
A fatal boating accident under investigation by Andros Police. Initial reports indicate that on Saturday, a 52-year-old Andros man departed Morgan's Bluff aboard a boat en route to the Berry Islands with two other men, ages 44 and 46. The boat experienced mechanical issues around 6 p.m., causing it to take on water. It capsized miles off Morgan's Bluff. The vessel drifted to a nearby key where the men spent the night. It was sometime after 2 p.m. on Sunday when the 52-year-old man swam ashore to Pleasant Harbor, sought help, and alerted officials for the need for rescue. Thanks to the help from residents on Sunday, police retrieved the two remaining men. However, the 46-year-old man was pronounced dead at the clinic. The 44-year-old man, who was semi-conscious, is scheduled to be airlifted to New Providence for further medical treatment. The Disney Treasure, the highly anticipated newest ship in the new Disney fleet, had made its grand entrance at the Nassau cruise port today ahead of its maiden voyage this December. The ship's arrival emphasizes Disney's long-standing relationship with the Bahamas and its investment in the Bahamian cruise industry. Disney Treasure was welcomed in grand style with a traditional water cannon salute by the Nassau Harbor Pilots Association. As it sailed into port, the ship was berthed next to its sister ship, Disney Dream, creating an impressive sight alongside Norwegian Gem and Carnival Celebration. Combined, the four ships brought 11,699 passengers to Nassau, contributing to what is predicted to be a record-breaking year for passenger arrivals at Nassau Cruise Port. Disney Treasure, the second of Disney's Triton-class ship, carries 4,000 passengers and over 1,500 crew members. Disney Treasure will embark on its maiden voyage from Florida on December 21st. Cuba Libre Bahamas is giving back and spreading cheer to members of the local Junkanoo community. Several A-category Junkanoo groups receiving 120 cases of the popular Cuba Libre libations, while those in the B category received half a pallet. According to Director Gary Christie, the initiative, dubbed Warm the Shack, symbolizes the company's appreciation and unwavering support for the Junkanoo community.
A young kid in Government High, my brothers, Percy Christie, Perry Christie, our family grew up with the Valley Boys, and the Valley Boys grew up with us. And so I've always loved Junkanoo. I've always participated in Junkanoo, and I've always been around the shacks. And shacks, it's long hours toiling in the shacks. And so we thought that we could warm the shacks with Cuba Libre, you know, for the young men and the young women who spend so many hours there.
This marks the 4th year for the company's Give Back, Cuba Libre officials reiterating their commitment to promoting moderation and discouraging underage drinking. They're hoping Junkanoo leaders will ensure beverages are consumed responsibly.
In the Valley Boys, we've always tried to control the use of alcohol because it's a sport, really. You have to. I mean, you really have to be in some kind of decent physical condition. To beat a drum, shake a cowbell, or dance. I used to be one of the best dancers. I don't know if I am anymore. And can you imagine? You have to be able to prance and dance all through Bay Street. And so. Because of that, we always tried to control, well, guys, control your alcohol intake because, you got to be ready for this.
Today is International Men's Day, and the Men in Business initiative, launched back in late September by the Small Business Development Center, is winding down. The more than 200 applicants continuing the steps towards obtaining grant funding to help their small and developing businesses. Today, those applicants participated in an Empower Men Forum at the Margaritaville Resort, receiving mentoring and business advice from other male professionals. SBDC Executive Director Samantha Roll says this process is just among the highlights of the 5-week program.
Because we have men helping to mentor other men throughout this program. Another great success is that we're able to allow for grant funding for those who have journeyed through this program and who have applied for the grant funding. We are awarding up to $10,000 per applicant.
The men also getting a pep talk this morning from Prime Minister Philip Davis, who reminded them that even though they see a lot of negativity regarding men in society, all is far from lost.
The numbers may speak of failure, may speak of decline, of a generation slipping through our fingers. But I refuse to accept that story as the final word. No trend, no statistic, no grim forecast is stronger than the will of determined men who choose to stand together and say, enough.
The Men's Desk of the Department of Gender and Family Affairs also celebrating International Men's Day with a special symposium aimed at addressing the best ways to empower men to make a difference. Felicity Darville was there.
What is the measure of a man? Men heard today that no matter who you are or where you are from, a man who is doing his best and being his best is a man of good measure. Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the Honorable Miles LaRota, said his ministry has a series of initiatives to uplift men.
Our vision for the Bahamas is to bring men together, to provide the support and encouragement needed to achieve their fullest potential. We are laying the foundation for a comprehensive framework, a network of organizations committed to the holistic growth and empowerment of all males. To that man that may be searching for a direction, we stand with you. Our goal is to reach men in the workforce, our elderly men who still have wisdom to share, and boys in our schools. We want to create spaces for boys and men to become agents of change. We want to ensure that no man is left behind.
The day involved a series of speakers, including Assistant Commissioner of Police Damian Robinson, Dr. H. Cheyenne Williams, Commander Delvon Duncombe, Chadwick James II, and his father, Bishop Chadwick James, head of the Men's Desk.
I want to encourage men of the Bahamas, all of the visions that you have, let's get in a setting where we can pull that vision up, where we can give birth to the visions that we have. No vision is a crazy vision. We just need to have it hewn and corrected and bring it together. Let's put it together. Let's come together, making this idea in your head from the men's desk. Let's bring that idea to fruition so that we can have a difference in our nation.
This International Men's Day, reach out to the men in your lives. Let them know that you see them, love them, and respect them. In light of our social ills, crime statistics, health issues, and the economy, we need our men to show up and stand up now more than ever. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Marcellus Hall has a look at what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for tonight, we'll take a look at Jonquel Jones' victory tour as she now pays a visit and hosts a clinic. As y'all know, we'll have that story. Stay with us for more.
Over a decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
Losing your furniture to costly termite damage? You need Rentokil's Initials Drop and Go Furniture Fumigation, the only service like it in the Bahamas. Simply drop your furniture at a fumigation container located at 5th Terrace, Centerville, and collect your termite-free piece within days. Sealed with our termite-free guarantee. Fast, convenient, affordable. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Chapter 1 Bookstore at University of the Bahamas believes in the power of words. They have your next great adventure or that affordable textbook you need. You can go anywhere with a good book. To the library, to have coffee in a cafe, to the pool, to a cozy chair at home. And when you finish your book, you can browse for more good books from Chapter 1. Chapter 1 Bookstore, open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., or shop online all day, every day at chapter1books.store.
Is that Nest Total Sports Check, everyone? Your late night edition. Jonquel Jones here in New Providence these last couple of days. Yesterday, paying a visit to a number of different establishments, including hosting a clinic at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. For more on that, let's go to our Amazon notes.
It was the final leg of a nearly week-long celebration for Bahamian basketball superstar and WNBA Finals MVP Jonquel Jones. After spending the weekend in her hometown of Grand Bahama, Jonquel arriving in the capital on Saturday and on Monday was officially welcomed with a Junkanoo rush out at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. Jones met by the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Bullag, and a host of other officials and supporters. During a brief press conference held in the foyer of the gym, Jones was presented with her National Sports Award for impact on the country's tourism product. Jones speaking to media about her achievements and the importance of representation for Bahamian female athletes.
We've had a lot of very influential, very strong women that have come through in sports in the Bahamas, and I think I'm just adding my name to a list of great women that have kind of paved the way for sports in the islands of the Bahamas. But I would say it's a time that's right for us to invest in women's sports in the Bahamas, and I think that's the most important thing. Is not really about who's the best that's done it, but to make sure that we pave a way for the kids that are coming behind us and make sure that we tap into the potential that our youth have and that we're supporting them.
Still taking in her historic win this past month, the MVP also spoke about how she's been embraced by the Big Apple.
To be able to win a championship in New York, but not only just win a championship in New York, but win the championship, with it being the first one for the franchise and the organization. It was special. The parade was amazing. To be able to shut down Manhattan and shut down New York the way that we did and have the people show up in the numbers that they did, it was really a great experience.
Sports Minister Yomo Mario Bolek echoing her sentiments, stating that Jonquil's feat only continues to propel the notion of the Bahamas being pound for pound one of the best sporting countries in the world.
And of course, of being named the WNBA Championship MVP, which shows that once again, the Bahamas continue to develop athletes that are punch above our weight class based on our population.
Now for Jones, she would close out the day's festivities with a female-only basketball clinic at Kendall with dozens of local high schoolers and future stars. Jones would run them through some basic fundamentals and skills training with the hopes that we can potentially, out of the bunch, find our next great WNBA superstar. For Zenith Total Sports, I'm Amajal Nobles.
Make it career victory number 200 for Grand Bahama native coach Jolette McEwen. She and her Ole Miss Lady Rebels back in action last night, taking on Jackson State. 16th ranked Ole Miss rolling their way here to an easy win, 74-44. Ends up being your final score. Lady Rebels now 3-1 on the season. They head to Nassau. They'll compete at the Bahama Hoops Tournament beginning on Monday when they play Boston College. NBISS Girls Softball Best of 3 Championships getting started on Monday at the Freedom Farm Field. Starting with the junior girls here, QC Comets. They jumped out to a 6-0 lead on St. Augustine's College. Big Red Machine before holding on to win 13-7. They take a 1-0 lead in that series. On the senior girls side of things, Comets again getting the better of SAC, this time in a close one, 7-6. Both series now set to continue on Wednesday. And guess what? That's your check on sports we're here on this Tuesday. Of course, our Tuesday weather forecast is just around the corner. Stay with us.
You're going to get more to be thankful for from BTC this November. They're teaming up with What's Trending to give away a $200 Visa gift card and a Bahamas Air voucher. Just email the latest paid receipt from either your BTC postpaid or fiber internet account to saleshq@znsbahamas.com, and you will be entered to be one of the lucky 2 winners whose names will be announced on What's Trending on November 28th, Thanksgiving Day. More to be thankful for from BTC, only on What's Trending.
Our company has a simple philosophy, open hands. What do open hands mean? If you keep your hands closed, nothing comes in, nothing goes out. If you keep your hands open, a lot of things comes in, a lot of things goes out. We cannot expect to be a successful company without blessing our community and blessing our country.
My good friend and valued client, Dominic Stirrup, approached me following a meeting we had and told me of the idea that he had of feeding 10,000 Bahamians on Thanksgiving.
There was a lot of details to put together, had to figure out how to get it done. But at the end, it was worth it. At the end, it gave me a heart of gratitude to know that our company is reaching out to so many persons.
We invite you on a journey to witness an extraordinary chapter in the story of the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, a tale of compassion, unity, and the true spirit of Thanksgiving.
It's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. High pressure continues to control our weather, but it will begin to collapse over the next 24 hours, paving the way for the arrival of a cold front, a very active and strong cold front that's going to usher in some very cool and chilly temperatures, which will carry us right through the weekend. And temperatures around the islands this evening: Marsh, Ababaco at 76, Grand Turkey 77, in Freeport, Grand Bahama 77 degrees as well. well. Berry Island, 77. Allenstown, Bimini, a little warmer at 80 degrees. Harper Island, 76 degrees. Rock Sound, Eleuthera at 73. Fresh Creek, Central Andros, 78 degrees. And we pick it up some 76 in Kemp Space on Andros, Black Point, Exuma. Otterstown, Cadallas, San Salvador, and Rumkey, 71 degrees. 73s in Ragged Island, Clarence Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana getting warmer again at 78 degrees. Ackland, 78. Matitani, Nagua, 79. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 77 degrees. Satellite pictures showing that showers and thunderstorms associated with that frontal boundary continue to advance towards the Florida Peninsula, and you can see some of the high clouds already advancing over the extreme northwestern parts of our country, and that will continue to increase over the next couple of days. The front itself will go through on Thursday afternoon early for us here in the capital. So we could see some showers and thunderstorms right along that frontal boundary, but most significantly is behind that front, temperatures are going to drop into the low 60s. Tonight, we're looking at increasing cloudiness, 73 degrees for your low temperature. Tomorrow, it's going to be clouds followed by bright sunshine, so the afternoon looks to be a bit better with your high temperature at 83 degrees. Your extended weather forecast looking like this. Nice weather right through Thursday early, but some clouds in the afternoon as that frontal system pushes through. Thereafter, the skies will start to open up again, and we'll see sunshine return to our forecast as of Friday, and that will carry us right through the weekend. But most significantly, the temperatures, they're going to be in the low 60s for a few days, taking us right into the early part of next week. Bryson.
Thank you, Basil. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
At Tonic Williams Darden Highway, I'm Tijaro Hudson. This is ZNS.